This video is an introduction to coordinate graphing. Please make sure that you have your graphing packet with you. You'll need to fill out page 1, fill in the notes, pause the video when needed so that you can keep up. So the coordinate graphing, you've actually been graphing on the coordinate plane in elementary school, so a lot of this is just going to be a review for you. In mathematics, points are located on what we call a coordinate plane. And the coordinate plane is formed when two number lines intersect at their 0 points. This intersection point is what we call the origin. The horizontal line, the line that goes from left to right, is called the x-axis. It goes from east to west. And the vertical line, the number line, the one that goes up and down or from north to south, is called the y-axis. Now, these points, we can identify the location of the points by using what we call an ordered pair. The first number in an ordered pair is the x-coordinate. It tells you where on the x-axis the point falls. It's the one that's going to go from left to right. The second number in the ordered pair is called the y-coordinate. It tells you where the point falls on the y-axis, the one that goes vertical up and down. So if we have an ordered, like this dot right here, this point right here, its ordered pair is 3, 6. If you start at the origin and you go to the right, this point falls at 3 on the y-axis number line. I'm sorry, on the x-axis number line. And then if you go over here to the y-axis, you can see that it falls at 6. So its ordered pair, or its location on the coordinate graph, is 3, 6. Please note how the ordered pair is written. The numbers are inside parentheses and there is a comma in between. If you just write 3, 6, that doesn't denote that this is an ordered pair. You have to have it inside the parentheses. If you forget the comma, then it looks like a number 36. Okay, we talked about how the two number lines intersect. When they intersect, they form perpendicular lines and they end up forming 4 different sections in the coordinate plane. These are called quadrants. Q-U-A-D-R-A-N-T-S. And these quadrants are numbered 1 through 4. They are numbered using Roman numerals. And let's take a look at quadrant 1. Okay, quadrant 1, you'll notice that both the x and the y values, the x and the y coordinates, are going to be positive. This is mainly the quadrant that you worked in elementary school. This is the one that you're used to. But now that we've been dealing with negative numbers, we can work in quadrants 2, 3, and 4. So let's move over to quadrant 2. Quadrant 2, the x values are all negatives and the y values are positive. So we have negative x and we have positive y. Coming down to quadrant 3 in the lower left-hand corner, you'll notice that all of your x coordinate values are negative as well as your y. And then the last quadrant, number 4, the x coordinates are positive and your y coordinates are negative. So knowing the quadrants are very important, and there's actually a little trick to remember the coordinates, the quadrants. You can make, if you start at 1, go to 2, down to 3, and over to 4, it makes a C for coordinate graphing. Okay, this is page 2 in your packet. We're just going to work a couple of practice problems. Number 1, they're asking us to name the quadrant where each point is located. So if you're not sure the numbers, make your C. Where you start on the C is quadrant 1. Then you're moving to the left, you go into quadrant 2, move down, quadrant 3, and move to the right into quadrant 4. So looking for point D, right here, you can see that it is in quadrant 2. Again, do not write the number 2, you need to write it as a Roman numeral. Okay, 7 through 12, give the coordinates of each point. So you're going to be given the x and the y coordinates. So point X is right here. So we're going to start at our origin, which is right here, and we're going to move over And we'll see that our point X falls at the value of 2 on the X number line. So we start our parentheses, our X coordinate is a 2, put a comma, and then if we go over to our Y axis, it falls at 1. So we put a 1 for the Y coordinate and close your parentheses. So the ordered pair for point X is 2, 1. And now we're going to have to graph each point on the coordinate plane. So we're going to graph the point X, and it is 3, 1. You always start at the origin. Now, in elementary school, you were told, I'm sure, something about walking or running and then jumping. You walk first on the x-axis and then you jump to go up on the y. That doesn't really work for this because now that we have negatives, you would be jumping down, and the only way you could jump down is if you were to jump off of something. So I like to use the walk into an office building, go into the office building, and you walk to the elevators, and then you ride the elevators. So if I want to graph the point 3, 1, I'm going to start at the origin. I come into the office building. The elevators that I need are to the right, to 3. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to ride the elevator to the first floor. So I place my dot where the two intersect, and I label it X. Let's go ahead and do number 18, point A. I'm going to start at the origin. I'm going to walk to the left because it's -4. So I walk to -4, and then I'm going to ride the elevator down 1 floor, and this would be point A. Okay, you can complete the rest of the problems on your own.